everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. The second meeting of the year on tap here between these two fierce AFC rivals. These teams know each other very well, and that only serves to stoke the flames of what is always a heated battle. It's the Texans going up against the Jaguars. With that, let's send you upstate to Everbank Field in Jacksonville. We're standing by our two men who will call the action. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we welcome our viewers to Duval County, the northern part of Florida, and the largest city in the Sunshine State, as EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Everbank Field here in Jacksonville. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Miller, the lone setback. On first down, Osweiler. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second down.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now Osweiler on second down. Gets it to Strong. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Detroit!
They'll throw on first down with Osweiler. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be a second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Again, Osweiler. And his throw is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. Offensive starters here. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, a talented wide receiver.
And he's still looking for that ultimate recognition. He wants to be mentioned with the best receivers in the game. His numbers suggest that we should do so.
Osweiler now to throw on 3rd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Here we go on 4th down with Osweiler. He finds Hopkins complete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and the Jags take over in terrific field position. formation here on first down. He's got time. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd. Bortles going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he's got it to Hearns. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Call it a 3-yard gain. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. And now the starting lineup for the offense. And Julius Thomas highlighted, my friend.
Brandon, he's one of the latest in a long line of basketball players turned football players who have had great success. And he uses those basketball skills to get open in his pass routes.
That's caught. It's Thomas. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, it's Miller. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
A first down carry now for Miller. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Time running out here on the play clock. Here's Osweiler to throw. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Miller, the lone setback. On 1st and 10, it's Osweiler. Caught left side by Funchess. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big play that time on the catch and run. 31 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They got the ball to the outer third of the field, but they could not seal that edge and lost yardage.
And I love how you brought that up because sealing the edge is often a function of the offensive tackle on the line of scrimmage, oftentimes a tight end, maybe your H-back, someone to set the edge at the line of scrimmage to give them a spot to get to. If you're not able to do that, you're not able to turn the corner.
On 2nd down, Osweiler. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
He's got the completion to Strong. And he's brought down after a good gain.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
On the counter, it's Miller. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it again with Miller. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on 3rd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on.
3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Throwing, Osweiler. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And Parkey's kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. He's going to float this one. And got his man complete. That one goes for 36 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance.
And I think the ball's out. It's caught right side. It turns. And the Texans scoop it.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Osweiler on 2nd down, setting up the screen for Miller. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
On 3rd down, Osweiler. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, that was pretty nice to watch if you like a defense's perspective, because they understood where the first down line was as much as the offensive guys did. Did not give up any more ground, and when the ball was thrown, reacted really well and swatted it away. One of the advantages of zone defense, you never take your eyes off the quarterback, and when he reacts, you do exactly the same and go get the ball.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not got much success against him and his team.
Oh, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Bortles to throw on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now they run with a backup. It's Chris Ivory. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Bortles now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And it's second down. So 2nd and 10 here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On second down, here's Yeldon. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
So on 4th down, here's Brad Nortman on to punt it away. Yards that time on the punt, and the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston, and a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big play there out of the running game. 34 yards. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Tenth carry now for Lamar Miller. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right.
All right, here we go.
Now they'll throw it with Osweiler. Now the ball's out. Osweiler lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And time for us to take a break here in the booth. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on 3rd down after that sack. From the gun, it's Osweiler. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Jalen Strong, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jaguars will take over at their 20-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, it's time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Right here. Here we go now. Blue 45.
Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to float this one. He's got a man complete. A gain of 39 that time.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top and make a big catch.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Brian Cushing. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Can't find anyone, and down he goes. Osweiler sacked. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Here we go. Green, 39.
They'll send the tight end in motion. Play action. It's Osweiler. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
Now a play fake here on first down. Deep drop. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
He's now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins as the first half is winding down. And the Texans will add on to their lead. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They come out here in the eye. Trying to shake off. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you downstate to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know. I
would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Throwing now is Bortles, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Bortles on the bootleg. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Yeldon, the lone running back. And they'll give it to him here. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. On third and long, it's Bortles. And he finds Julius Thomas. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
In the red zone this time. They'll try and run for it with Yeldon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's second and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll give Yeldon another crack. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. T.J. Yeldon, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Jaguars are back within a score. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
Man, it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it's the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On third down, Osweiler. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here we go on fourth down with Osweiler. Looking deep downfield. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
Now give them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down.
1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
Here we go. Here we go now.
The play fake to Ivory. Now Bortles. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now it's Osweiler. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Dante Fowler in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Throwing, Osweiler. He's got time in the pocket. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And they're going to go for it on 4th. Brock Osweiler staying on the field. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, you
can't find anyone, and down he goes. Osweiler sacked. Osweiler's former teammate in Denver, Malik Jackson, in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Yelder. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. 3 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Bortles throwing on second down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Throwing is Bortles. He's going to take another. This is caught inside the 15. Back now in Jacksonville. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. And now a first down following that long gain. Into the red zone. It's Bortles. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he had a nifty little deep juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
So now it's 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Throwing his Bortles on. Oh, no, he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
The throw on first down with Osweiler. It's complete to Fuller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 on the gain there. And that'll be good for a Houston first. And they're going to speed things up here. Now Osweiler on first down. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it third down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Osweiler now to throw on third down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
Oh, man. 4th down and 1, and you're on your own side of midfield? That takes a little bit of courage to pull off, but they went ahead and snapped it, and it'll work out for them as they get the first down.
From midfield now, here's Osweiler. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll make it second down.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled? So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guys' jersey clean throughout the game.
set back. On second down, here's Osweiler. Completion left side to Miller. Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes place.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. So the D-line's going to spread out. Play clock winding down. Now a play fake here on first down. This will be caught inside the 10. It goes as a pickup of 23. And the Texans are going to have a first and goal.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Oh, how about this on first and goal? And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. And now they're in the hurry-up.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Their dangerous wide receiver with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Now Parkey for the extra point. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the fourth. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. On the return, this is Denard Robinson. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Catch here, left side, Thomas. It's a gain of 5, and it's a second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Black 58, Black 58, There we go now. Green, there we go now.
The pitch goes to Yeldon. And some room to roam now. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They go play action here on first down. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case, the feet, get a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And the defense lines up looking for one final stop.
And they will be playing for the pass in this situation, not expecting any type of a run.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Bortles going to try and throw on third down. Now a desperate. That's caught inside the 20. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Back to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's brought down. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
They come up in an offset eye.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail. Let me go now. Green 90. Ace. Kill. Hey, turn it out. Ace.
He's back to throw. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. They'll toss it to Yeldon. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. So how many practices have we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there?
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not skiing. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say husky.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now Jones. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Four down. All right, here we go.
And they'll indeed take a knee.